Good morning. It's Monday morning. It's early. It's about 2 hours earlier than I would normally do this. So this may be a bit of a rough and ready video. Actually, it will be. Coffee has not kicked in. Allergy tablets have not kicked in. Nor has Miss Maddie's. Hi, baby. Shh. Good boy. My brain is not awake yet. Nothing is functioning. But in order to do a Monday morning plan with me, I need to do it on a Monday morning, which means I have to be up a little bit earlier than I would normally be to do this with you so that I can edit it in time to get it up for you on a Monday. We also have some weird lighting to deal with, which I can't help. I don't normally film at this time of day because of the weird lighting, which you can see here. Since I've started bullet journaling, I have taken on board some of Ryder's ideas about how and when to plan. Well, I've taken on all of the bullet journal method. For those who are not familiar, I'm being quite purist about it. So if it didn't come from Ryder or from Ryder's book or from one of Ryder's videos, then I'm not using it unless it's come from me. There are a couple of minor tweaks that I've thought, oh, that would be really handy to use. And I have added those. You'll see those as I go through. But for the most part, my planning has changed in that when I sit down on a Monday morning, I don't plan my week, which sounds really weird, but I don't feel I need to. In the book, he talks about reflection cycles. And I don't know if you've noticed, but everything he does right from the beginning, when we did what I'd like to get done in the next hour, the next 2 days, the next 3 weeks, the next 4 months, the next 5 years, everything is exponential. So the gap gets bigger as you go forward. This is on page 138 if you want to refer to it. It actually says here that reflection times, the cycles are daily, AM and PM. So twice a day, once a month when you do your monthly migration, and once a year when you do your yearly migration. He actually starts a new bullet journal at the year end. The thing about daily, AM and PM, is that if you are doing it daily, AM and PM, you never need to plan your week on a Monday morning. You may need to know what's important this week. You may need to prioritise some things, but you shouldn't ever have any surprises on a Monday morning, because anything that should have surprised you on Monday morning will already be in the back of your mind because you did your reflection last night. So you should have done reflection on Sunday night that would have prepared you for the week, or at least given you an idea of what's coming up. For me, I rounded off last week and had a quick flick through this week just to make sure I didn't have anything, didn't have to go on a trip on Monday morning or Monday afternoon or something. He talks about reflection and reviews as being consistent. Now, for me, weekly planning is not consistent. I feel like it's doubling up. As part of my daily planning now, on a Monday morning, I do a quick glance through my week. But I also do that on a Tuesday morning and a Wednesday morning and a Thursday morning. So every day I'm reviewing, reflecting, checking, working out the day. But I will also have a quick flick through and say, right, is there anything else coming up in the next 7 days that I need to be aware of? The advantage of that is that instead of just thinking of your weeks as blocks of time that begin and end, your weeks become rolling. I might plan this week up to Sunday night, and then I could sit down on Monday morning and suddenly realise I've got a meeting at 10 o'clock that I haven't prepared for because I didn't think of it last week. Because I'm working 7 days through to Sunday, Tuesday morning I will know that next Monday I've got something coming up that I need to prepare for this week. Wednesday I will know if I've got something on Tuesday next week. So I'm always aware 7 days ahead, and I found that is better for me than just dumping everything out on a Monday morning and working, right, this is what I have to do this week. To work for this week is too much. He talks about breaking down tasks and projects into bite-sized chunks. oh, I have to plan my month. Okay, well, where can you start? Well, I need to break down my weeks. Okay, so how do you break down your weeks? By planning my day. Okay, how do you plan your day? By starting off with what I need to do this morning. I do that every day now, instead of having this mad panic on a Monday morning. Obviously, I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks, but since I've started doing it, I don't feel so overwhelmed on a Monday. I don't suddenly feel like I have this enormous list of tasks to accomplish this week, and I already start my Monday morning off with, oh God, I've got to do this, that, and the other. I'm better able to manage what's coming up because I'm not trying to do it all at once. So with that said, and that in mind, let's do some, I don't like calling it planning, let's do some bullet journaling, because I've stopped calling it planning. I've stopped calling it journaling. I bullet journal now. Semantics, I know, but for me it helps clarify in my mind what I'm doing and why. And that's what's important. That's the whole point of the bullet journal, is to clarify the what, the why and the how, and make the what and the how easier by understanding the why. It used to take me most of Monday morning to plan my week because, you know, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I teach, I do YouTube, I do all sorts of stuff. Mondays are supposed to be my day off. But they never are, because I spend my whole day planning. Since I've started doing this, my planning doesn't take so long. Although it will do today, obviously, because I'm filming, but I've prepared for that already. So let's flip to the bullet journal. I'm going to move it over here a little bit so that hopefully it won't be too much in the sunlight. So this is last week. I've started doing Saturday and Sunday together because I don't have a lot on at weekends. I don't do anything Sundays at all, and I don't plan it if I can possibly help it. So Saturday and Sunday I've put together. I did start trying to put 2 days on a page. I'm aware that my bullet journal has some fancy stuff in it. Don't worry about that. You'll find out about that later. Yeah, here I tried to do 2 days on a page and I hated it. I have been unable to find Thursday ever since I did this, and it bothers me. Even though I didn't have any tasks on Thursday that I needed to complete, I still feel like I don't know where Thursday is and I don't know whether I've finished everything on it or not, which is ridiculous, but that's how it makes me feel. So I start every day with a new day. And what I'm starting to do this week as well, because I find that I journal during the day, but I don't always journal the important stuff during the day. I will make notes during the day of things that happen. They tend to be short, like, oh, went out and did some sketching this morning, whatever it was I sketched. I will note down stuff that happens. Oh, Amazon delivery arrived, whatever it was that came, you know. But I don't journal during the day. I used to journal constantly. I'm finding it more beneficial to do AM and PM. Over the weekend, it occurred to me on one of my 11 AM reflection times, would it benefit me to include long form journaling during reflection times? Make the long form journaling portions about beginning and ending my day and treat it like bookends to capture everything in a daily record. That's what I've started doing now. But before I can start journaling, I have to clear my head. So I start with my day's stuff that I need to get off my chest. New page. Monday, July, what's the date? The 15th. Somewhere along the line I've got my dates messed up, so I will fix that later. The first thing I'm going to do is write down what I already have in my head that I know I need to do. Stuff that I've already been reviewing for a week. It's already on the surface of my mind. I know it needs to happen today. So I already know that I have I have to call the vet. Maddie's vax are due after the 14th, right? Well, it's the 15th, so I need to get on that today. I also realised last night that my MOT, which I thought was due on the 1st of August, is actually due on the 12th. Now I could put that down as a task and say, right, I've got to call the mechanic. I've got to tell him that my appointment that is for the 1st of August, I need to change it. I've got to. That's what happens. Your brain my brain goes into I've got to. Now, I have got to call the vet today. That has to happen today. But I don't feel like, oh, I've got to do that today, because I've been aware for a month that that was going to happen today. So it's not a surprise. It doesn't feel like pressure. The MOT not being due until the 12th, if I turn it into a task that says I must call the mechanic today and change my booking, then it becomes pressure. It becomes something that I'm like, oh, I need to sort that out. If I just put a note, MOT is not due until the 12th, when I review that, if nothing else, when I review the day tonight, if I haven't done anything about it, I will go, oh, I need to text Ant and let him know. And I will just send him a text there and then and say, MOT's not due till the 12th, can we move the appointment? It's no longer a to-do for me then, it's a to-do for him, because he'll have to let me know when he's free. By making tasks about other people and not about me, and delegating them to other people, I don't have to ring my mechanic to tell him that the MOT's not due yet, I've already got an appointment and I need to move it, and can we move it to the 12th, and blah, blah, blah. All I've got to do is let him know MOT's booked for the 1st, it's not due till the 12th. Now at that point he might say, that's okay, do it on the 1st and I'll backdate it, because you can do it within 14 days. He might say, bring it in the week after. Or he might say, that's okay, I'm free on the 12th, bring it in then. It becomes up to him then, not up to me. I don't have to think about it. It's not a problem for me. All I have to know is when I have to drop the car off. I'm sorry if this is a little bit rambly. Like I say, not awake yet. Coffee hasn't kicked in. Bear with me. It's also in the middle of the school run, so that might happen quite a bit. What else is on my mind? Oh, I have a commission that I need to finish. I'm going to write this bit in pencil. I don't want to put the details on camera. Contact Blue recommission. When I finish the video, I'll go in and write in what that actually is. I don't want to put it on camera. I have put that as a note, not as a task, because contacting people, it doesn't have to be done today, so it's not a task. It's not a task for today, so it doesn't have to be a little box that I tick off. But if I write it as contact such and such today, when I'm doing my emails, that might be one of the ones that I go, oh, I could do that while I'm checking my emails. I'll fire off a quick email to her and see what she wants for that particular commission. I'm not awake yet, so can't actually think of anything else off the top of my head that I have to do today, other than, oh, event. I've got astrology. 6 till 9. I don't keep an appointments diary other than to have an appointments calendar on my phone. So the next thing I'll do when I've run out of things that I've written down, I will check my calendar, see what's happening. So Google Calendar, I only look at the next 3 days. So I've got Maddie's vaccinations due as a reminder. Astrology class. Oh, I've got a study guide for tomorrow that I haven't finished. So that needs to be a task, because I do need to do that today. Finish study guide PDF. It's written and everything, I just have to go through it and edit it and check for spelling mistakes. Oh, and then tomorrow I see I've got an appointment in the evening for an astrology reading for somebody. So I need to print off the stuff I've done on her reading. So print reading notes for B. I don't have anything else important coming up this week. I've got the only other thing I need to be aware of. See, this is the advantage of looking at your calendar just for the next 3 days. Wednesday afternoon there's a football match. So if I go out after 7 o'clock on Wednesday, I cannot come home and get a parking space until 11 because there's a football match on. I live right next door to a football stadium. I won't be able to get a parking space. As it happens, I do YouTube live 5 till 7, so I'm not planning on going anywhere on Wednesday night. But it does mean that if I needed groceries or anything like that, I wouldn't be able to pop out immediately after the YouTube live, because if I came back I wouldn't get a parking. That's just something to be aware of. It's not really a big issue. I don't do anything on Wednesdays particularly. In fact, I normally do my grocery shopping after my astrology class on my way home on a Monday evening. Nothing else particularly. Let's just check the rest of the week. Nothing unusual, except I've got a big yellow section there. That is a Urban Sketchers thing. It's not actually all 3 days, it's one of 3 days. So I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind, that at the end of the week I have an appointment that's, the date is not set yet. So I may or may not be going to it. But that's not a concern for me right now because it's only Monday. I will find out about that during the week. But now that I've seen it on my calendar, I'm aware that it's there. It will crop up later in the week. I don't need to write it down. The next thing I'm going to do is go to my monthly tasks and just check if there's anything that still needs to be done. Now, what I've started doing on a Sunday night is going through my monthlies, writing on anything that doesn't need to be done by me today as I go through my month. And then anything that needs to be done this week, I've starred. So that's to do with that commission. So that's written down already. I haven't done it, but it's on the page. Printing and scanning, I don't need to do that this week. Editing those videos, I should have done that by now, but I haven't had time to do it. I can't do it through One Book July, so it's going to have to wait. Continue reading the bullet journal method. I would like to do some of that today. Monday is my day off, and I would like to spend a little bit of it reading some more of the bullet journal method. So I'm going to put that as a note. Read some more of BuJoM. A note, not a task. It doesn't have to be a task. It doesn't have to be a to-do. I've stopped giving myself the panic of having to check off little boxes. I like checking off little boxes, but I get as much satisfaction from coming into this and going, oh, read some of the bullet journal method later on tonight when I've do my reflection and go, oh, I read 2 chapters. You know, I can write next to that 2 chapters or 25 pages, whatever. And I feel just as good about that as I do about having a checkbox. So my checkboxes are becoming priority tasks for the day, in essence. They are things that I must do today. Maddie's Vax due. I'm not going to cross that one off yet, because what I'll do is when I've booked it, I'll call the vet when I finish this video, and then when I've booked it I will, actually it's a 2-second task. I'm going to do it now. They're open. I'm going to call them now and do it.
Good morning, White Cross Vet. Charlotte speaking. How can I help?
22nd.
2:15.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright then, no problem. That's all booked in for you.
Great. Thank you, Charlotte. Cheers. Call vet. Done. Pop that into my calendar. My calendar rules my life, so if it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. I will book it for 13:45 and I will write the time on here. So 2:15 vet Maddie. But I've booked it early because I need to leave a bit early. We will give it, only needs an hour. I'll give it till 1500. And then I need a notification. I need to know in the morning, so let's do 4 hours before. My appointment's colour is yellow, personal appointment, so I will put it in private and it goes into my events calendar. Done. That's now there. So when I get to that week, I will see that and go, oh, I've got a yellow one, I've got to go somewhere. That's that done. Maddie's vax are sorted. Let's see what else is due this month. Printing astro charts. I need to do that. I've actually already put that down for one person, so I'm just going to add a note to that, and others to 31st of July. I print them in 2 weekly rounds. Astrology printouts Monday. Oh, I've written that down twice. Okay, so I'll cross that one out. And I'll put this one here. And I've put it on a task list, so Zoom payment is due today. I know about that already, so I can cross that off. That will go out shortly. It's already sorted. And that's it. That's all I need to do today. I don't have anything major coming up during the week. I don't have anything. Well, I'm going to put in that appointment event. Check with Laura Re USK at end of week. Again, that's something that I don't need to do right now. That's something that as I'm going through doing reviews and things, I will look at that and go, oh yeah, and I'll fire off a quick text to Laura. The next thing to do is to go through and check open tasks. Now what I've been doing is putting a block at the bottom of each day when I've finished it. Carrie has done a single block on one side. If you watch her video, she does a single block on one side and she divides it in two so that she's got the left page and the right page. Now that wouldn't work for me because I flip this way, but it did occur to me that the less I have to look at this side of the page, the better, because I work in a full spread. So I've put my two signifiers on the left hand side. So when I'm flicking through, I can see anything without a signifier I can skip, and anything that has a signifier, that's filled in, so all the tasks on that page are done. No signifier, no signifier. Oh, open tasks. Astrology printouts Monday. Okay, so I can cross that off, and I'll put an arrow to show that it's gone to the 15th of the 6th. There's nothing else open on that, so I can now cross that off. That day's finished. No signifier. No signifier. Finished tasks. Everything's finished there. Oh, open tasks. Astrology. No, this is for the 19th is the next important one for that, so I don't need to think about that right now. Closed tasks, those pages are finished. That's my One Book July stuff. Open boxes. Videos. I will come back to videos in a minute. Let me just finish checking the rest. Oh, things to post. Yeah, I need to do that whole thing at some point. Hoping to get it done tomorrow. Anything to update on here? No, yesterday was pretty quiet. Nothing really happened. I keep forgetting to cross these off. I also forget to cross them off in my bullet journal app. But since I've started doing morning and afternoon journaling, I no longer feel like I need to worry about crossing them off because I know if I've done it or not. Okay, I actually do my planning for my videos on this page rather than trying to do it in advance and put it all on the daily log. So all I'll put on my daily log is video stuff. So that tells me that I've got video stuff to do, and that's page 2728. So I'll put that on there. When I come to looking at that, I will constantly go back to this particular page. Now, this is the one and only time I use my bookmarks, is if I know I'm going to use a particular page all day, I will pull that out and put it in there, just so I can flip backwards and forwards easily. So, let's review YouTube videos. That's a review, I don't need to do that till August. Those two are being done later this week. That's one I can do on Instagram instead of YouTube. I don't think that needs to be a YouTube video. It can go on Instagram. So I will cross that out and move it to the Instagram column. That needs to be a Patreon video. Yeah, I've done that. I did that as an Instagram post. Integrating creativity, that is partly done. I've done it as an Instagram post. I need to edit the Twitch stream to a YouTube video, so that's a half started. So that one will probably be tomorrow, which is the 16th. And then today I'm doing, today, not Wednesday. Today is a Bujo Monday AM plan with me. One Book July video. It's a YouTube video and I'm doing it now, so I'm crossing it off the list already. I love doing that. Okay. Because I don't need to write down separate tasks for have I recorded it, have I edited it, have I done. It's going to be done in the next few hours. It's my morning task today, so I don't need to write it down as a individual tasks. Okay, Patreon, the July coffee chat. I've done it, I've uploaded it, I need to link it. Study guide myths, that's finished. Chat and art, Mercury classical art, that's downloaded and uploaded and I just need to link it. I record my classes live and then I download them and put them on Vimeo so that they're available to the class indefinitely. Dishes and food, we did the video. I've downloaded the video, I think, but I'm not sure, so I will leave that for now. Study guide, I have written the study guide. I need to edit the study guide. Familiars, can't really do anything for that or that. I could start that today. I don't really need to, but I could. When I come back to that later, I'll be aware of that. But I think having video stuff to do, printouts to do, and a PDF to finish on my day off is more than enough. However, it sounds like there's a lot there to do, but in reality, all of that stuff can be done in between other things. So I can be painting and at the same time I can be editing video. So it takes a while to render the video. It takes a while to upload it. It takes a while to edit it. Obviously, when I'm editing, I can't do anything else, but I do tend to listen to podcasts when I'm editing. Once I've finished the editing, then I have to watch the video, and I usually do art while I'm doing that. Then it needs to render, which takes time, and it needs to upload, which also takes time. Again, I will do other stuff while I'm doing that. So I can combine all of these and kind of flip between different tasks. So instead of trying to do all of it at once, I'm doing one thing at a time. But while the computer is working on something that I can't do anything about, like rendering a video, I will go off and say, okay, well, I can't print anything because the computer's busy, but I could fire off those 2 quick texts to Laura and Ant about the car and the Urban Sketchers thing. And then once that's done, that's like a 2-minute thing. Okay, well, I've got 45 minutes to kill before my video finishes rendering. Let's read a bit of the bullet journal and get that done. So by about 2 o'clock, I should be done with my day, which would be awesome because I can spend the afternoon sketching. And it's a really nice day, so I might be able to go outside. Before that, though, I've now reached my, well, what should technically be my 11 a.m. reflection time. So the next thing I will do is put 11 a.m. and I will do some journaling. Once I've done that, this video should have finished processing and I can then download it and start editing. Even though it's my day off and I've got stuff to do, I don't feel like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. I just feel like, okay, stuff to do. Let's do it. Let's do it. First coffee, right?